Work package 2 is focusing on education and training design. We have to develop a suggestion for a pedagogical approach. We have to deliver guidelines for designing these standards. And then we have to, for 4 different educational levels, detail prototypes of education and training programs that we can have validated by industry, and then guidelines for how to implement this. So these are the things that we need to deliver. Most of them are delivered next year, but one is due this year. In Work Package 2, we are strongly dependent on the input from Work Package 1, and we provide the bridge for Work Package 3, where the educational prototypes should be actually implemented. One of the things that we are expecting to come back to or start here in the next week or 2 is to start mapping what constraints there are in terms of changing things or implementing educational initiatives that may hinder whatever prototypes we develop, so that we make sure that they're not just targeting the right topics and the right application areas, but they are also structured in a way that is practically implementable in the countries that are participating in this project. So just to say a little bit about the method and how we are using Work Package 1 as the foundation for the work. We have these 3 topic areas or 3 areas of interest that are strongly linked. What we have from the Work Package 1 mapping is a gross list of topics, application areas, and their maturity. And the way we've structured the work also enables us to map these, if they change, to remap them. But from this gross list, it's almost 60 topics or 60 application areas, 97 topics, is very large. So what we need to do in Work Package 2 is to select representative high-value topics, representative levels of maturity and application areas. And actually, if we go to this, what we want to do is we want to map these to the proper education qualification level, depending on their maturity and their application area or areas, in a way where we make sure that, for instance, things that are mature and fundamental, they are put into the right educational qualification level. And things that are emerging and maybe have a narrow application area, they're put as upskilling activities rather than embedded directly into educational programs that are running. So this is the core of how we will do this. So the first thing we will have to do is to classify these to make sure that there's a clear mapping between the maturity topics and application areas that we are already seeing from Work Package 1. And then we have to propose and select, we will do this together with industry, a representative set of topics that we will prototype. But we have to do this in a way so that we are not just creating the prototypes in isolations. We have to do this in a way where we make sure that they're updatable and adaptable, and that we can replicate them for any of these other topics that we see inside of this from Work Package 1. Or new topics that may arise if we did this study again in 3 or 4 years. And then, of course, finally, make sure that we do this in a way that is actually practically implementable. Because what we know from all of our various countries is that certain types of educational activities require accreditation, formal processes, and may take longer than is suitable, while and at the same time there are constraints in terms of calendar years or semesters when certain activities have to be placed. So we have to make sure that we are developing the prototypes in a way that matches both the needs, maturity and topics, but also matches the practical constraints that we have to implement these educational activities under, and then make sure we can repeat it. So and now maybe I could just hand the word very briefly over to Gail so she can explain something about how they have actually how they do this in their programs.
Yes, thank you, Peter. Yeah, thank you, Gail from Centrale Supélec. Here he's presenting a concrete example of the methodological approach designed and developed by Centrale Supélec 3 years ago now for the creation of our new engineering curriculum. And this is the approach we would like to share and to adapt for our project to a wider ecosystem. Our mission is to prepare the best profiles to address the major scientific, technical, and economic challenges. So to achieve this goal, we have to design a pedagogical vision with an excellent scientific expertise who meets the current needs of companies and society. And that's what we did in Centrale Supélec. In implementing an international and strongly business-oriented program. So we create new and innovative programs and tools deeply involving industrial partners, and that's what we are trying to develop for the European program we are working for. And the original multi-scale structure is highly flexible and modular. And this is what we are experimenting right now in Centrale Supélec. And I think that the results of our work at national level for our engineering school can be a very good experience for our program. And the major strength of this curriculum is the scalability of each activity. So that's the approach we want to share and to promote, both taking account into the industrial partners' need and the academics' constraints, just as Peter underlined it before.